Across the earth, countless empires have emerged. They reached their peak and then collapsed into oblivion. This video is not about great empires that became weak nations. It is about powerful countries that no longer exist. Many believe that Germany started World War I, but that is not entirely true. The first move came from the Austro-Hungarian Empire, a powerful state in Central Europe. Austria-Hungary wasn't just two countries. It included parts of modern-day Romania, Ukraine, Poland, and much of the Balkans. In 1914, a young man from Serbia, then under Austro-Hungarian rule, shot Archduke Franz Ferdinand in the streets of Sarajevo. Franz Ferdinand was the heir to the empire's throne. The empire quickly responded, sending its army to punish Serbia. That move triggered a chain reaction across Europe. Germany, Russia, France all began to mobilize. Germany declared war on Russia, but invaded France instead, surprising everyone. That's why many blame Germany. But in reality, this war cost the world three great empires: Austria-Hungary, the German Empire, and the Ottoman Empire. One bullet, and three empires were gone in just 4 years. When the Austro-Hungarian Empire collapsed after the Great War, something new rose from its ruins. A fragile union with a strong identity: Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia was formed after the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian Empire in 1918. The Czechs and Slovaks united to create a new nation with Prague as its capital. The country quickly developed a strong economy. Most of the former empire's industries were located in this region. This made Czechoslovakia one of the most advanced economies in Central Europe. However, during World War II, Nazi Germany occupied Czechoslovakia. The country was taken over and became part of German-controlled territory. After Germany's defeat, Czechoslovakia fell under Soviet influence. It became part of the Eastern Bloc despite resistance to communism. People lived under communist rule until the Soviet Union collapsed. Then, in 1993, the Czechs and Slovaks peacefully decided to split. They formed two new independent countries, the Czech Republic and Slovakia. The next vanished empire is the Ashanti Empire, which was located in what is now Ghana. This powerful kingdom also included parts of present-day Togo and the Ivory Coast. But why was this small region considered a mighty empire? Because its land was rich in gold. Gold made the Ashanti Empire wealthy and influential in West Africa. When the British heard about this land of gold, they became very interested. They sent their sailors and soldiers to seize control. In 1701, the Ashanti Empire was occupied by the British. For more than 2 centuries until 1957, the British ruled this territory. Finally, in 1957, the Ashanti lands gained independence and became Ghana. In the heart of southern Africa, a land once bore the name of a man, a name born from ambition and empire: Rhodesia. Its name came from a British businessman and politician named Cecil Rhodes. He gained control over this region and gave it his own family name. Rhodesia remained under British colonial rule for decades. In 1979, the era of colonial control finally came to an end. The new government wanted a name that reflected the local heritage. They chose the name Zimbabwe, inspired by the ancient ruins of Great Zimbabwe. Another powerful nation that no longer exists is the Mongol Empire. It was one of the largest empires in history, lasting for over a century. At its peak, it stretched from Eastern Europe to the heart of Asia. But today, nothing remains of that glory, only modern Mongolia. The land is mostly barren steppe and desert. In the 1930s, the Mongols wanted to join the Soviet Union, but Joseph Stalin refused, saying, "This is not the right time." Even his minister, who wanted to expand Soviet lands, could not change his mind. One major reason was that adding Mongolia would enlarge the border with China. Stalin feared that this would bring more conflict with China. On a tropical island in the Indian Ocean, once stood a land called Ceylon, a jewel of trade, spice, and empire. Ceylon was famous across the world for its tea. For centuries, it was considered part of the Indian realm. Then came the Portuguese, who conquered the island. Later, the Dutch drove the Portuguese out and took control. In 1815, the British arrived in India and demanded the Dutch to hand over Ceylon. The British ruled the island for over a century. In 1948, Ceylon finally gained independence. In 1972, its leaders renamed the country Sri Lanka, leaving the colonial name behind.